What would you like to be remembered for? What do you do each day when you log into Facebook? Do you look at do you happen to look around and see what people are doing and feel like it's are you just checking in on people because you're really generally concerned about people, or do you go around and just troll and just start trouble, or um, get in arguments, or just spread havoc? I've seen everything on Facebook, pretty much, as most of you have. Um, it's almost like when people are looking for the news today, they look on Facebook first. And you have to remember the source. I mean, you have to really check things out because a lot of things are fake. Even some of the people who want to be your friends are fake. Um, it's kind of funny when you think about different things. Like I was thinking the other day about what do you want to be remembered for, and I saw this vehicle in front of me, and the license plate, and there were bumper stickers all over the place, and there were all kinds of things regarding, terrorists and all kinds of crazy, not really crazy, but very opinionated statements, and it really didn't leave anything to the imagination. I didn't really know this person, but I felt like I knew them when I saw them in front of me at the stoplight for a while. So I guess that's one of the reasons I don't put bumper stickers on my car. But I will admit, I did put a strike sign in my car when I was working for a company. We were on strike for 4 months. That was different. And it was okay. But I think about people, what they want to be remembered for when you go on, and maybe you want to, I don't know, I look at Facebook as a good vehicle for helping other people. I think whenever you have troubles of your own, I think the secret to life is to really help other people and to be there. And you don't have to give anybody anything but yourself. I mean, if you think about when you were kids, what do you remember? Do you remember all the little toys you got every Christmas? Or do you remember times that you spent with your family? Do you remember memories? Because that is really what it's about. It's the same when you have friends. I mean, you want to check in on your friends, and if somebody is in a bad place, you should look out for your friends. And if you've got older people in your community, same thing. You should look out for people. People should pay attention to who's around them. You see someone that's struggling, to get over, to walk into a building, offer to, put your hand out. Maybe let them walk with you if they want to. Some people are really independent. And it's not afraid. It's not anything to be afraid of to ask. I mean, at least you asked. Sometimes people don't ask. They just see things happen and they think someone else might help. And that's not always the case. I was just thinking about this one time I was at Walmart, and there was an older guy he was having a hard time walking. You could tell he was having a hard time breathing. And he was taking a few steps and then he'd stop. Take a few more steps and then he'd stop. And he was like in the area where the cars are going back and forth in front of Walmart. So I had my cart and I was leaving the store and I saw this. I just happened to see this man and I was like, yeah, that guy needs some help. But I don't want to step over my over the boundary of, getting into his space. So as I was leaving, I just grabbed I had one bag. I said, hey, would you like my cart? He said, oh, thank you. And I realized that he took the cart and it kind of gave him some stability to hold on to it when he walked into the store. I mean, something as simple as that. Just pay attention to who's around you. You just never know. I often think, too, about the older I get. I mean, I used to be like the life of the party. I kind of still am, but now I'm more like if I go someplace, I don't really do so much talking as I try to do more listening because I think people are really interesting. And sometimes, like I remember when I went to my high school reunion, I went with a couple of friends and I said I'm going to make friends with some people that I went to school but I never knew. So I want to see what they're up to. So I just went and talked to people and listened to them as, let them tell me their stories because I love stories. And that was kind of interesting. It's hard to keep your mouth shut when you're more of an extrovert. and learn to be more of a listener. That's a really hard skill. Um, I know even with people with disabilities, I have a lot of experience as being a family member of people that have different issues going on. And sometimes, you can't do anything, your hands are tied. You can help someone that needs help every day with, in my family I have someone with muscular dystrophy, so I have to help them with all of their daily needs, feeding, dressing, everything. And, then I have other people in my family that have other issues that are, not visible, but they're mental or cognitive issues. And you really can't, they don't want your help a lot of times, especially if they're adults. They don't want your help. And it's really hard. I mean, I see all these things sometimes in the headlines about people that have tried to help their family members, and family members have ended up in jail or ended up on the streets or homeless or dead. It's a terrible thing. People that are falling through the cracks. And it isn't because family members haven't helped, because a lot of family members have done everything they can do within the limits of the law. When you have adults that are not managed with their mental illness, it's like letting a baby drive a car, like giving keys to a baby to drive a car. That's all I can say is it's a very helpless feeling. And you have to learn. One of the books, I did read this book by Dr. Xavier Amador, and he had a brother that had a severe mental illness. And that book was really, really helpful. I would recommend that book to anybody. That book is, it basically teaches you coping skills and how you can be the best person, best support for someone that is struggling. And it's really basically learning to listen, to empathize, to acknowledge, and the more you listen to somebody, it builds trust. So I've learned a lot of things over the years that sometimes you don't choose what you're going to do in your life. Sometimes it just chooses you because of the people that you love in your life. And it's okay. That's just the way it is, And I think the big secret in life is to reach out and help other people. No matter what's going on in your life, it helps you take the being so focused on your own issues to look outside and be there for other people and help other people the best you can. Because this whole world is about just learning to love each other. It's kindness, just being kind to each other. So I guess that's my message for tonight. Try to listen to your friends, pay attention to your neighbors, pay attention to your own communities. I just find that all this news, 24/7 news, is very, very overwhelming. And even my little community of people I know on Facebook, which I don't really know them, but I feel like I've established some a lot of commonalities with different people regarding, being parents of kids with disabilities, and we're just there to, give each other information and be supportive, because that's what it's really about. So I just, that's all I wanted to say, really. But I do want to end this on kind of a funny note. I was thinking about this kind of weird thought the other day, and it's like people that Amazon is now considering, delivering packages with drones. And it seems like everybody's getting drones. So these little drones are flying around, and it's kind of freaky in a way that technology is moving so fast. So I was thinking, if a drone comes to your house and delivers a package, I really hope you have an option first, because some people would not do well with a drone delivering to their house. They should have an option to have a person or a weird piece of machinery. So, I mean, I love technology, but that is very freaky for some people. So, that's number one. And number two is, okay, so what if a drone drops off some packages? Okay. All right, what's to say that there's not going to be a bad drone that comes in and takes the package. I mean, it could just sweep right in right after the other drone leaves the package, and this other drone could just come out of nowhere and just, pick it up and take off, rip you off. I mean, that is really weird. And I read an article recently in the newspaper, and it was about drones, the possibility of drones checking in on our loved ones. Let's say grandma's living by herself in another state. Okay, I think I'll send a drone over to check on her. Okay, this is a little too much. I think grandma would freak. Anyhow, human-to-human contact. You can't get everything online. It's just not possible. There's a sense of fakeness to it, and you need to meet people. You need to reach out to people. You need to make eye contact with people, and go out and put yourself out there. I would like to say another thing too. I was met with one of my relatives, and we were talking. Is a young fellow, and he's kind of a little bit lost about what he wants to do with his life. He's feeling all this pressure about, I'm back at school, and I don't know if it's going to be, I'm going to just do my best. But I look on Facebook and I see all my friends, they're doing all these things, and I'm like, I say, wait a minute, you just can't compare yourself to other people. And number two, you should stay off Facebook for a while. Just don't compare yourself to other people. I mean, I had a hard time getting through college. I mean, I didn't get through college. I went for a couple of years and I left. And I worked for my dad for like 10 years. And my dad was, he had his own business, sign business. And I learned sign lettering and, how to manufacture signs. I learned a lot about business, the business sense of it. I learned a lot working for my father, more than I probably would have learned in college. And yeah, a lot of my friends went to college and they got good degrees and they have really nice jobs now. But you know what? It's not everything. It's not for everybody. Some people don't know what they want to do when they get older. I mean, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Now I feel like I know what I want to do, but that's because of situations that have happened in my life, and I feel like it's kind of chosen my career direction. I mean, if I hadn't had people in my family that had different disabilities, I wouldn't be interested in that field, perhaps. But I feel like that there's a need for more education, and it's right up my alley. So I think someday that's where I'm going to head. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm getting too old, but I still want to do it. And I don't know. I just feel I felt really bad for my relative that was just like struggling, and I said, I mean, you're going to think about this, but a lot of your friends might be having kids now, and they're not getting married, and they've got their own struggles. You might not see that kind of stuff on Facebook. People don't put that stuff on Facebook. They only put, mostly positive stuff, unless they've got things going on in their lives that they don't know what to do with. They have to share it there. But I feel bad for people today that are so connected to the world, because it's not good to be that connected sometimes. And if you want to turn me off anytime, it's not going to hurt my feelings, because I'm not looking for a million hits. I'm really not. Or a million likes. I just felt like talking. And I'm here by myself, so there you go. Anyways, have a good night, everybody. Thanks for listening to my babble. Bye now.